Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Do not let good enough, I said it backwards. Do not let perfect be the enemy of good enough. Do not let perfect be the enemy of good enough. I learned that from a really good friend of mine. His name is Rolf Benershka. We actually had him on the show before. Rolf kicked in the NFL for, I think it was about 7 or 8 years. And he was NFL Man of the Year in 1983 when he came back from ostomy surgery to kick in the NFL. And Rolf and I have worked together for people with ostomies and people with inflammatory bowel disease. And because of that, we've become really good friends. And that's a saying that he says a lot. That's something that he really mentions a lot, that we all have a tendency to try to make things perfect and then we don't follow through. And that's what tonight's show is all about. So planning versus doing. Welcome to You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul. I'm Justin Rigliani. It's great to have everybody here for another week. And what we're going to talk about again is going to be planning versus doing. And I will say right off the bat that that's one of my biggest weaknesses, is trying to plan things and decide now it's time to unveil it. Now it's time to say it's good to go and it's ready for people to see, and it's what it's supposed to be. And there's always that fear that what if it's not good enough? What if I put it out now, people will be turned off by it? Or if I put it out and it's not ready, people who hire me to do whatever it is, whether it's training or anything else, they may say, you know what, he's not the right guy for the job. And then the flip side of that is, if you don't ever put it out there, then you're definitely not going to get hired, because no one's going to know what you're doing. And it's a struggle. It's not easy. And I'm not great at it. I'm trying to get better at it. But I saw a video this week where a guy was talking about, when you prepare for things, it feels like an accomplishment. And it does. It really does. When I started my charity, for instance, it felt like a lot was getting done, especially in the beginning, because I built the website. I got recognized as a 501c3, which is a charity. And it was based out of New Jersey. So I had to work with the state and the federal government, and we got that done. And like I said, the website done, and business cards done, and all the promotion stuff done. And we had all the hockey players, all the NHL players that we had to be a part of the games, especially that first one. Who knew what was going to happen? We didn't know if it was going to be a success. We didn't know if it was going to be a failure. It was a success. It wasn't an overwhelming success. It certainly wasn't millions and millions of dollars. It wasn't even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I think we pulled in $10,000 that first time. And that's not bad. That's not bad. I was happy with that. But my point is, I finally did it. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. Was it 100% ready to go when I went? Probably not. There are always things that we could have done better. I could have done better. Things that I didn't think of the first time. Maybe if I had planned it longer, Maybe I would have thought about some of the things that I didn't think about. At the same time, sooner or later we had to play the game. Sooner or later we had to say, okay, we're gonna go for it, and we went for it. And that's not always easy. What could I do more? Don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough. Now, for some people, that might sound like a laziness. You don't want to work hard enough. Make it perfect before you're ready to say it's good to go. When will it be perfect? Ever? I mean, how often do you get perfection? I've never seen it with myself. Perfection. I've seen some things that I thought, wow, that's really good. I really feel good about that. It feels like this is successful. And of course, there are other times where I think, man, I could have done more. I could have made this a little bit better had I thought about some other things, had I planned a little bit more. Right now, I have my book. I wrote the book 2019 or 2020, and I still haven't published it because I just wanted to make sure it was exactly what I wanted it to be. And now that we have AI and I'm training AI to people, I put the book into AI. I put it into a few different artificial intelligence programs. And I asked it, is the book ready? And some say yes, the book's ready to be published. It says it's not perfect. Things like there's some redundancy, stories maybe out of sequence a little bit, minor grammatical mistakes. But some of them say every book has those things. You're not going to find a book that doesn't have some sort of error in it or some sort of a grammatical mistake. And I had it professionally edited. So it's not like I just edited it myself. I paid to get it edited. And still there are problems with it. So I told these different AI platforms, I said, look, I had it professionally edited and there are still errors. Is that normal? And they came back and they said, yeah, it's normal. But if you want to make it better, you'll fix all those things. And some of them said, fix them. It'll make it better. And others said, don't fix it because it's good enough. So I've been tossing and turning, trying to decide whether it's ready to publish or not. If anybody knows anything about publishing with books, very, very, very few will make money. If you're writing a book, you're doing it because it's a labor of love. You're not doing it to get rich. It's like anything else. For every J.K. Rowling's out there and every Stephen King out there and all these great authors that sell millions and millions and millions of dollars of books, millions of books themselves, there are literally millions of writers who can't make a living on it. I know several people who've written books, and they all say the same thing. It's not a moneymaker. You lose money, really, because you have to pay. If you're going to self-publish, you got to pay for that. You pay with time. Your time is money. It's time that could be spent trying to develop more business. But you do it because you have a story that you want to tell, and you need to tell it. So how much more preparation do I do? Do I rewrite again? Because books are not written, they're rewritten. And you never get it right the first time, but the 10th time, 12th time, when is it time to say, good enough, I'm going to put this out there and let the chips fall where they may. Some people might like it, some people might not. You hope that the story carries it. Because to be perfectly honest with you, if I was reading a book and it was really a book that I connected with, I could overlook some grammatical errors personally. Now, some people can't. Some people look at that and say, oh, how in the world? I get it, but to me, what's more important is the story, not necessarily the way it's written. If it's written in a way that people can read it and people can feel comfortable with it and relate to it, then that's to me the most important thing. And these artificial intelligence platforms said, all of them said this: don't rewrite the whole thing. There are some good. There are things that could be better, but certainly don't rewrite it, because it's if it's not ready to go, it's close to ready to go. And that's not just with a book. And again, people say, why do you write a book? Well, a few reasons. One, I wrote the book because hopefully it will get the story out there about how I struggle with ulcerative colitis, mental illness, depression, anxiety, OCD, and how the ulcerative colitis was. And then to find out in 2015 that I needed ostomy surgery, lost my entire colon, rectum, anus, everything gone. And the thought of living a life with an ostomy bag was terrible. But at the end of the day, it worked out, and I have a great life now. And I wouldn't trade this for being chronically ill, which I was for 12 years. And by the way, tomorrow is World Inflammatory Bowel Disease Day, 2019. 2019, what am I saying? 2026. I have 2019 on the brain because I think that was the first one that we worked with. But inflammatory bowel disease, World Inflammatory Bowel Disease Day, 2026. And that's tomorrow. And we have some things going on. If you're in the Delaware County area, Papone's restaurant in Aston, we're doing a 10% cut to Checkmates for any meals that you buy if you say the name Checkmates. So we're trying to get some money. And the thing about Checkmates is we don't, only one person has a salary now. We for the longest time, when we started in 2014, nobody got a salary. But I did hire someone, Kevin Pulse, who has done some really great work for us. And he's worth every penny. So he's the only one, though, that gets a salary. I have never gotten a salary from it. I've never taken any money for payment, because it's not about that. Now, if it ever grew to the point where it was making millions of dollars, which I don't think it will, yeah, all right, then it would be a different story. But it's not appropriate yet. Maybe it never will be. I don't know. But again, the preparation, even getting this that's what I'm looking for. Working with Capone's, even getting that started, there was a lot of, how do I approach them? What do I tell them? How do I, quote, sell the idea? What if they say no? All the preparation for it. You get one shot at it, right? You get one shot. Collaboration, that was the word I was thinking about, that I couldn't come up with. So the collaboration between Capone's and Checkmate's Charitable Association. You get one shot. You call or you go in. Now, for me, face-to-face is always better. So I went in and I talked to them, and they called back later. They said they would think about it, and they called back and they said they would do it. But again, the preparation, if I waited too long, or if I just let it go by and said, well, I'm not ready, then we would not be having this collaboration. So are there things that you do that you're really, really good at where you don't want to unveil it yet because it's not perfect? And you're thinking to yourself, give me one more week and I'll work on it. I'll make it better. Give me one more week. Give me 3 more weeks. And those weeks turn into months, and those months turn into a year. Like me with the book, 2019, I was finished. It's 2026. That book is still on my computer. Paid for it to be edited. I never got the cover photo shot. Never did any of that. It's time. It's time. And the other reasons why you write a book, as I said, one is it's your story and you want to tell your story. Two, you want to inspire other people to do things that they thought they could not do. It's not just a story about you don't have to have an ostomy or have to have inflammatory bowel disease to relate to the story. Every one of us has something that we need to overcome, whether it's illness, another illness. It could be inflammatory bowel disease, but it could be diabetes, it could be cancer, it could be you pick your disease, right? So all of us have to do that. Hey, Claire's joining us. Everything going well, Claire. Thanks for joining us this week. Claire joins us almost every week, so we appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever it is. Divorce, loss of family members. You have to get through these things. You have to persevere. So this story is about perseverance. So I want to tell my story, and possibly not everyone will be inspired by it, but somebody might. And the other thing is, to get your name out there. Let's not pretend that it's not important to get your name out there. Why do you buy business cards? Because you want to get your name out there. You want people to remember you. You want people to put you in their Rolodex. It's part of the preparation, right? Getting things planned out. You can have the greatest product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, what difference does it make? You're not going to sell it. Nobody knows. But with a book, well, think about this: credit cards. I'm having all kinds of trouble tonight. Business cards. When you give out a business card to someone, the most likely thing that's going to happen is it will be thrown out within 7 days. And I think the number, if I remember the number, I believe it's 84%. It's a very, very, very high number. So you hand somebody a business card, the odds of them literally putting you in their phone or saving that card, it's about 16%. It's not good odds. And here's the other thing. Even if they keep the card past 7 days, they're going to put it on a shelf. They're going to put it in a folder. Then months later, they'll look at it and say, I have no idea who this is. Can't remember. Throw it out. I'm not saying business cards are bad, but it's not the greatest promotional tool in the world for that very reason. People just don't keep them. I've had people turn them down. I went to hand my card to someone. They said, look, I'm not trying to be rude, but I know what I'll do. I'm going to throw it out. And it's not you. I throw out every card I get because I don't remember who's who. I get it. But with a book, my friend Chuck Basti taught me this. Nobody throws out a book. Think about all the books that you have on your bookshelf that you don't read and might not have ever read. Probably tons of them. And all they do is just sit there. They take up space. Because we don't throw books away. I mean, I'm not saying never, but for the most part, I have books that are in my bookcase that either I read a long time ago or read part of it or didn't read it at all, but never threw it out. Still there. The names on the books are still there. If somebody says a name of a person, I might trigger the thought, oh, wait, I have that book. I remember that name. That name sounds familiar. So that's another reason why I wanted to write a book. But getting back to the planning, at some point, it's got to go. I mean, whether people hate it or not, or love it or not, it doesn't make any difference. It's got to go at some point. And some things will be winners and some things won't. I have failed much more, and I mean a lot more, than I've succeeded. It's not even close. Not even close. And that's not unique to me. That's something that everybody faces. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, because I guess there are some people who do something that's really great and they're very successful right off the bat. It's rare. That's rare. That's not something that's going to happen to most people. Some people, but there's a lot of luck involved in that. I'm not, no matter how successful I ever get, I'm well aware that I wasn't as successful with a lot of other things. I mean, that's what keeps you from being conceited and from talking or thinking that you're bigger than you really are. I mean, some people are successful and they stick out their chest and they say, wow, I did this, I'm self-made. Nobody's self-made. No such thing. Two people had to make you. Two people gave you life. People raised you. They fed you. Schools, teachers taught you. If you went to college, you learned, you got a college education. All these things. Somebody had to hire you for your first job. You didn't become a mogul right away. Or if you did, it was probably because you were born into a family that was already well established. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that somebody who is successful because of family success is a problem, but this idea that anybody's self-made, I don't care how you started. I don't care if you were homeless and then you became a multimillionaire. You're still not self-made. Somebody had to make the stuff that you sell, or if they didn't, they have there are trucking companies that have to bring in stuff. There are a million different things. A bank giving you a loan to be able to start your business. It's so much more than just I'm self-made. You're not. Nobody is. Not a single person on earth is self-made. It never was. But I think about baseball. In baseball, you're an all-star if you fail 7 out of 10 times at bat. A 300 hitter means you get 3 hits out of 10 at bats. It means you fail 7 times out of 10. And that's an all-star. If you're a decent player, you succeed about 25% of the time. You bat 250. 25%. And you're still going to be in the major leagues. You're still good enough that you'll be in the major leagues. You don't have to hit much more than that to stay in the league. Baseball's a great example of how many times you have to swing the bat in order to get a hit, because you're going to fail a lot more than you succeed. Part of the failure, though, is, and I'm guilty of this. I'm not saying that, everybody else is guilty, but not me. No, part of the failure is not having the confidence to say, let's roll it out. This is ready to go. This is ready to be seen. It's ready to be sold, whatever the case might be, and we're going to go for it. And if it fails, that was one more swing that gets you closer to a hit. That's all. Now, I'm talking this way now. Did I always think this way? Of course not. And if you have known me prior to now, last year or so, it's totally different. I really hesitated to follow through on things because I felt like if I follow through and it's not successful, it's going to be too hard to swallow, number one. And number two, now that idea is shot. I just used up that idea and I can never go back to it. Well, why not? Why couldn't I go back to it? And that's just a change of thinking, that's all. With AI and me training AI, how long do I prep to be an AI trainer? When do I say I am an AI trainer and I want to start teaching people how to use it? I have. And does the first class go as well as the second or third or fourth? No. The first class is always going to be the one where you cut your teeth and you kind of learn what you're doing, but that's everything. No matter what I've taught over the years, it's never been the best one was the first one. The first one is kind of, you set the bar. I think you just get better from there. But in what walk of life does that not happen? No matter what you do, whether it's a sport, playing an instrument, it's all the same. The first time is usually not the best. And if it is, you got real lucky. All right, we're going to take a little short commercial break, and then we'll be right back with you as a whole, body, mind, and soul.
In a world full of noise, misunderstandings, and interruptions, master the art of listening with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the listening mentor of USA Global TV and Radio and the Amazon #1 best-selling author of Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Elevate your listening. Elevate your life. Join a global learning experience in person or via Zoom. Reserve your spot today. usaglobaltv.com/book-your-session or drjacqueline.thinkific.com. Join Dr. Kerbeck's listening courses or hire her to unlock deeper connections and authentic conversations.
That commercial makes me think about this topic. Dr. Jacqueline had to decide that she wanted to start her own network, USA Global TV and Radio. And she was on another network, and I was a guest of hers on that other network, and she was very good, as she is now as a host. But she decided that she wanted to do this on her own. She wanted her own network. It took planning, for sure. She didn't wake up one day and say, I want to be the owner of a network and let's just start tomorrow. That obviously did not happen. She had to plan it. She had to create a business plan. She had to create a mission statement. She had to do all the work that is necessary to get it started. But if she were here, my gut feeling is that if you asked her, was everything perfect on the first day, she'd probably say no. This could have been better. That could have been better. Because that's all it is. Was it absolutely perfect to go the day this network started? Nope, it was not. But the same thing with anything else. I mean, I remember back in the 80s, in 1981, MTV, when it started, it was huge, right? If you're old enough to remember MTV, when it came on the first time, there were bugs in it. There were things that did not go right. There were things that I've seen documentaries on it where they didn't even know if it was going to continue anymore. But then it became a powerhouse. But somebody had to say, let's put it out. Let's just do it. Let's roll. We're never going to be perfect, so let's just roll it out. So what are you holding on to right now? What are some things that you have gotten to the point where it's good enough? What is it? Is it a business? Is it something at work? Project? If you're in school, is it a project from school? Is it something that you've been working on for a long time and it just feels more comfortable to keep I'm building. See, that's the danger is and again, I want to make sure everybody's clear with this. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that I'm great at this, because I'm not. I'm trying to get better at it, but I struggle with, I'm making progress. It feels good because it's safe to be in my own office and keep working on it and feel like I'm making progress, and it feels good to me, right? I could go to bed and say, got a lot done today, but did I really? Or am I just stalling because I don't want to take a chance to see if it's really what I think it's going to be? If you know the story about Disneyland, when they opened up in the 60s, I can't remember the exact year, but Art Linkletter was there to open it up, and there were so many problems. And think about that. That's the Disney organization. That's a company that literally, well, figuratively, does everything right. It's virtually, no business is perfect, but it's an unbelievably run business. They actually have a class where they send people out to teach other companies about customer service because they are probably the best customer service in the world. So people pay money, tens of thousands of dollars, for them to come to their company and teach them the quote Disney way to be better at customer service. And yet, that first day, the paint wasn't dry yet. The cement wasn't dry. Women who were wearing high heels, the heels got stuck in the cement and they had to keep trying to pull their foot out. The tickets, they remember, this is in the 60s. There were paper tickets and people created copies of the tickets. So they actually had more people in the park than they could handle. There's a lot going wrong. I'm sure the genius Walt Disney, and he is a genius, there's no doubt about it. I'm sure he was aggravated and thought, how could we have missed this? How could we have missed that? Why didn't we have these bases covered? But what if he just kept trying to make it great and better and better and better, perfect? That park would never have opened because nothing's perfect. I wish I could give you a cookbook answer and say, this is when it's ready to go. I can't do that. I don't know you. I don't know your business. I don't know when you feel things are ready and when you feel they're not. Only you can make that determination, but you got to make it at some point. I talked about Rolf earlier in the show. He's got his ostomy program and ostomy life and Team Hope. I'm a part of Team Hope, and people contact us from around the world, really. And it's not every day, but from time to time, we get messages and people say I'm an or about to become an ostomy, and what's it going to be like? Is my life over? Now, when Rolf rolled this initiative out, it wasn't perfect. Still not perfect. There are things that he's still working on, trying to figure it out. Rolf will be the first one to tell you that. He'll say, yeah, because that's the person I learned from. That saying. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough. If Rolf did that, this initiative, his ostomy initiative, would never see the light of day. And that's something that we all have to do. Now, someone calling in. Is it Stephanie? Hey, Stephanie. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate it. If anybody has any questions or wants to bring up something that they have been through in this topic, planning versus doing, it'd be great. I mean, you're more than welcome to share your ideas, your thoughts. I don't know if it's certainly not laziness on my part. I'm not lazy, but I can say that I'm anxious. I'm anxious about what happens if it doesn't work. Does that mean it's all over? And how disappointing will that be? Is it going to be devastating? It shouldn't be. And I, to be perfectly honest, I've gotten better with that over time. I always say probably, but I think every show I do this. It's probably just frustrating for all of you. It's frustrating for me. The word probably is probably a conversational crutch because I always reverse and say definitely. I definitely had a problem with that. Stephanie from Ohio, she said, okay, cool. Weather not great right now in Ohio. It's going to get a little bad here too in the Philadelphia area. But it's not laziness. It's just the fear. What if I'm not good enough? Prep has always been my favorite thing because you can feel like you're doing. And I'll give you a huge example in my life. being in the gym. And I haven't been in a gym since September because of a car accident. We got some bad news about my health today. Not great, but not life-threatening either. But I trained hard to be better at sports. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. Strength doesn't always necessarily translate to being a good hockey player. It helps. The stronger you are, the better conditioned you are, theoretically, the better you're going to be at hockey. But when I would get on the ice and I wasn't as good as I wanted to be, I was happy to not be on the ice anymore and go home and work out and prep, because I thought, all right, I wasn't great tonight, but I will be greater later because I'm going to be in the gym and I'm working. And it felt good to prep. I'm getting something done that's going to get me closer to my destination. But at some point, you got to step on the ice. I had to go out, and I never became a great hockey player. I was a decent hockey player for the level that I played. Certainly nowhere near the level of a professional. And that would have been the ultimate goal. But how many people are going to get that? For every person who plays hockey, baseball, football, basketball, whatever it is, figure skating, tennis, the chances that you're going to be one of the greatest in the world are pretty slim. There are billions of people on Earth. You're competing against the world. It's just numbers. It's not a knock against anybody's talent or anybody's abilities. It's just numbers. To be the best in the world or one of the best in the world in anything, whether it's sports or playing, being in a band. How many bands are Aerosmith? How many? Or if you're a contemporary person, how many tandems like the Carpenters are there from the 70s? The Carpenters were fantastic, and music is timeless. But how many brothers and sisters got together with a drum and a piano and started a band and then became successful to the point that they were world renowned? Can't think of too many. But yet, the people who did it at some point had to say, all right, we practiced. We've honed our skills as best we can. We've prepped as much as possible. Now we got to go for it, knowing that the odds are very long. Is it the success or is it in the attempt? And some people will say it's the success. If you're not successful, you failed. And I get it. I understand that thought. But I also understand the other thought was it the work that you put in? Because I do look back on some of the work that I've done in the gym or for business or for the charity, and I think, man, that was pretty cool to be able to do that, to be successful in getting to a certain point. It wasn't great. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not famous. I'm just a regular guy doing regular things. I aspire to be more than that, no doubt about it. But I know full well that that's probably not going to happen because it's a numbers game. So that book will be coming out, for good or for bad. People will read it or they won't. Some people will read it and say this is terrible. Some people will read it and say this is really good. I hope that the people who read it really, what matters to me are the people that are closest to me. I really don't care if other people read it outside of the ostomy community or my family and friends. It doesn't matter. What matters is I want the right people to see it and to read it. That's my goal. Doesn't have to be any more than that. So I want to thank everybody again for being a part of the show. I hope this shows you that if you have those thoughts and those feelings that, gee, I just can't get over the hump, I can't get going, join the club. We're all in that. All of us. So let it go. Share your greatness with us. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, everybody. I will see you next week on USA Global TV and Radio, on You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at USAGlobalTV.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio. My Tummy Hurts by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Meet Jackie. She loves recess, running with friends, and laughing on the playground. At school, Jackie tries to play like she always does, but suddenly the pain comes back. Lately, something feels different and her tummy hurts, sometimes a little and sometimes a lot. With the help of a caring teacher, a nurse, her mom, and a kind doctor, Jackie begins to understand what her body is trying to tell her. Sometimes tummy pain is more than a simple bellyache. Some children live with conditions like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. Jackie listens to her body. She asks for help. She knows she's not alone. And Jackie finds her way back to running, laughing, and being herself. My Tummy Hurts, a kid's guide to bellyaches and bathroom troubles by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, available on Amazon and in fine bookstores around the world.